Music playing. We live.
What is going on, my friends? It is your boy John Quick of the Talk That Lingo crew, where we talk that lingo very fast. And like I always say, it's harder to keep money than to get it. And as you can see to the left of me, we're gonna be talking about slapping some mofos. And I wanted to get my cousin's take on what he thought of the whole debacle. Go ahead, my brother. What's going on? How you living? How you feeling, my brother? What's going on, man? What's you got your ear to the streets on this whole situation?
Yeah, I'm doing my deep dive on TikTok and whatnot. So, but no, it's a couple places to take away from it, man. And I think this. I look up to both men. Will Smith more in particular because of course I grew up on the Fresh Prince. And I know what he means to the culture, like as far as hip hop, black culture, all that. But man, I was just disappointed in his actions, man. It's just like it seemed like he was trying to reinsert or reestablish his manhood, his dominance. Like as Charlemagne said on the Breakfast Club, it seemed like that slap wasn't intended for that joke. It was like I want to say ulterior motives behind that slap.
Okay.
And so it's just like it's a couple points. It's like one. Okay. All right. So on his behalf, one, he laughed when the camera panned to him and Jada. You see him laughing, and then he got up and then did what he did after it was notable that. You can see noticeably that Jada was not feeling his joke.
Yeah.
You don't even give that man the benefit of the doubt that he might have not known that she had that disease. You know what I'm saying?
Alopecia.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, because for one, as men, we not like. Okay, socially, from social construct, men typically don't dive into other people's business, whatever the case is. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not uncommon for a man not to know what's going on socially. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, he's a person of stature. So for him being involved in his own business, he's doing his own thing, working on himself, his career. I don't find it hard not to believe that he didn't know that she had alopecia. So him making that joke, mind you, that joke itself had no reference to alopecia. It had all to do with her having a bald head. You know
right.
And then the joke in itself, it was lighthearted. It wasn't, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like disgusted with this super far jump conclusion that people try to reach to. That joke had to do with alopecia because she bald-headed. No, it was jokes that she resembled a girl that was in G.I. Jane. You know what I'm saying? She could be the next cast member in that movie. Like, and then I would say I don't like how they're trying to, and I have to say the people in our community. I don't like how they're trying to justify violence towards another black man by then trying to disguise it covertly, and he was protecting a black woman, he was protecting his wife. And then not only that, you know what I mean, I just kind of worry about the state of just black comedy. You understand what I'm saying? That's a bigger question in itself, because with black comedy, it's all about being raw, saying, the edgiest thing, you know what I'm saying? Kind of pushing the borderline. So now with everybody being so touchy-feely, and actually now this kind of opened the door for people to take violence against other comedians when they're not feeling the joke, or they're not feeling them clowning, jonesing, however you want to call it, on somebody in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like where do that leave the art form of black comedy? You know what I'm saying? It's just all around messed up, man.
So let me ask you this: as we know, both of these two black men, Chris Rock and Will Smith, are mega stars.
Absolutely.
Do you think Jada has any blame in any of this? And what percentage of the blame would you lay on Jada?
See, that's a tough one. I would say indirectly yes, directly no, because at the end of the day, Will took it upon himself to put his hands on another person, right? Mm-hmm. And like I said, you know, and that's why I say I'm kind of disappointed in Will, because I look at him as such a a figure in terms of, yeah, I'm saying, like, I don't know how this is gonna sound. I don't see him as like the typical black man, like or I should say, I see him as someone that's well-rounded, well-diverse. I should say.
Right.
So comes from my environment, but he has a worldly view on life, on everything like that. So I always kind of like, and maybe that's me. Maybe I'll say that. Maybe that's my that's a flaw in me. I'm putting someone on a pedestal based on how I perceive it. Mm-hmm. But I just felt like, just from what I know of Will, or from what I assume him to be in society, I just figured he would have found another way to handle that. Like, even if he would have got on stage and like, look, man, I didn't appreciate that joke. You owe my wife an apology. That's something she really going through. You might not know, but she got a disease behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a sensitive topic. Whatever the case is, I'm gonna give you a chance to apologize to her publicly, and then there won't be no issue. I would respect that more than you just getting up there and smacking a dude, thinking that he know that your wife going through something, and he's telling a joke, because that's what they do at the Oscars, award shows. They got comedians to tell jokes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would respect that a little bit more. But coming back to the question you asked, I would say indirectly, I felt like I said, like when I started, I feel like, you know, Will did that as like that's what broke the camel back. He felt like, all right, now somebody playing me to my face, or not even playing me to my face, but now I got to show my wife that I'm a defender, no matter what. Because again, and somebody said this on TikTok too, even though I don't agree with what he did or the way he went about it, you can't never tell a man how he's supposed to feel when it comes to defending his wife, which I do agree with.
Or his family.
Family, correct. Because something might be trivial to me, might not be trivial to you. So then it's like, yeah, I mean, that's where it's like, all right, it's a little murky there, because you can't tell, like, again, we don't know the conversation they had before. They could have just gotten an argument where she was like, yo, you never defend me. And then that would be triggering, because like we said, when you see him first, he laughing, and then it's not until it seemed like he got her reaction where that triggered the reaction he then displayed. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what the dynamics of the relationship is now, especially with the entanglement, all that. So that might have just been a touchy subject that a lot of people didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think a lot of people missing the fact that, like, Chris Rock is a comedian. You know what I'm saying? And again, I feel like anyone that's looking from it without any hidden agenda could see, like, he meant no malice. So I feel like a lot of people are trying to put on whatever hidden agendas or animosity they have towards Chris Rock. Or, again, any hidden agenda they want to say, oh, well, this is what you should do in terms of protecting a black woman. Like, yes, black women need to be protected. But is that a scenario where it's like, this is a black woman being discriminated against? Or this is equal opportunity of anybody can catch a joke?
Right.
It's a lot. I feel like, and then as I was saying before, it goes back to the state of comedy, raw comedy, urban comedy. Like, just think about the Bernie Mac, the Eddie Murphys. Like, even though Martin Lawrence not particularly my favorite comic, but when you go back and watch Def Comedy Jam, he dead ass roasted somebody for 10 minutes, a female, on a like a big bird ass type of get up she had, and roasted her in front of everybody on stage, and it was all love. So it's just like, where's the line? Where is it like comedy and where is it disrespect? And like, is there a line? I would actually ask you that question. Is there a line between disrespect and like, all right, it's comedy? How do you establish that line?
Well, I think I'm of the mindset that there is a line. However, that's a tough one because if we are, I don't want to move the goalposts just because of this situation, right?
Right.
But I do think if we do acknowledge that there is a line in comedy and disrespect, then you almost have to get rid of the entire profession as a whole. It's so funny because I remember there was one particular comic, he was talking about gay people and stuff like that, and his justification for making these comedic jokes about these gay people is that if you could take a dick, you could take a joke. That was something that he would always say.
I heard that one before, yeah.
So
I think I heard that before.
I'm of the mindset that yes, there is a line. There has to be a line drawn in the sand. However, literally you could make a joke about everything, and J. Cole said it best, all good jokes contain true shit. You get what I'm saying? So we can't just completely get rid of the comedic profession just because some people are offended. Now, I do want to speak for all of those people who have people tell jokes about them and then they do get offended and then they don't necessarily speak up on it at that point in time. Because I want to address what you said. Yes, Will Smith did laugh at first, but that's not to negate how he actually felt when he went up there and smacked Chris Rock. You get what I'm saying? Just because he laughed doesn't mean to say, like I keep hearing people say, oh, well, Will Smith was laughing, and then once he saw Jada's face, that's when he sprung into action. Well, yeah. I mean, if I think something's funny, it's easy to say my wife doesn't think it's just as funny as I think it is. And then once I find out that she doesn't think it's just as funny as I do, I'm gonna stop laughing in front of her because I think it could be hurtful to her.
Right.
And not only that, this joke was at the expense of my wife. So yes, I thought it was funny, or I may not have even thought it was funny. I just know it was about her, and I wanted to stop myself from springing into action and laugh in hopes that she would laugh. When I find out she's not gonna laugh, okay, now I'm springing into action. So that's not a far-fetched thing to see. You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I would say, I feel like another theory I have that I'm gonna get to. I feel like that was already tension either between the Smith family, particularly Jada and Chris, or Will and Chris. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was already some tension there because like, this kind of goes into the conversation we was having the other day with respect versus life.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Will Smith liked Chris Rock, I think he would have respected him a little bit more in terms of how he would have approached him in solving that situation or rectifying that situation.
Yeah.
So that shows me you have a little bit of respect for Chris Rock because you didn't even give him the chance to correct the wrong that you perceive he made towards your wife. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would say that going back to what you were saying, there's a possibility he could have, laughed as a knee-jerk reaction, but I don't find that to be the case. Just by the context of the situation, I just felt like he felt like it affected Jada, and then he sprung into action. Which, at the same time, you can't fault that man for protecting his wife in the manner in which he felt like he was doing.
Right.
So in that case, I would say where Chris Rock might have messed up at, or probably a note for any other time he's doing a situation like that where he's freestyling with comedy. I guess just stay on the husband or stay on the male side of it, because it's like I'm still trying to find how was that joke linked to her illness when it was a joke just based off her being bald at the moment. It wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it wasn't, okay, I would say this. And sorry if I'm being long-winded. I'm trying to get all my thoughts out.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I would say in terms of characterizing comedy and then disrespect within comedy. Now, if you would have gave him the opportunity to be like, even if Will would have been like, yo, cut that, nah, I'm not feeling that. And then he'd be like, oh, my bad, all right, cool, all right, let's move on. Then it was like, all right, it was a bad joke. It was a joke that, went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now you go on with it like, well, I mean, she is bald-headed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Now we diving into disrespect. Now it's like, oh, now you trying.
Right,
you know what I'm
right, yeah.
So I that's what I'm saying. You didn't. I felt like he gauged it wrong, and then the reaction outweighed what was. You know what I'm saying? What was the actual intent?
Right.
So I just feel like that was more so to either prove a point to his wife that I have your back. I mean, whatever, the man that you want me to be, I am him. Or that was Will Smith reestablishing his manhood to society abroad in terms of, he's been the butt of a lot of people's jokes. Or I wouldn't even say the butt of a lot of people's jokes, but a lot of people have looked at it in a certain light due to his private affairs. So, he's still human. He's still a man at the end of the day. I'm sure that kind of eat away at his ego a little bit, like as it was anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we keep it 100.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's either one of the two or both. I feel like that really didn't have nothing to do with Chris Rock, and more so had to do with however Will Smith was feeling about his perception or how you see it perceived. And I say that's the best answer I could give. I feel like that had more to do with Will's perception of himself and literally less to do with what Chris Rock actually said.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to one of the questions that I asked you. Out of 100, what percentage would you lay the blame on to Jada?
Jada. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I would have to say, all right, I'm going to say 50-50 because, like I said before, directly I can't. Because she didn't tell him, like, yo, go up there and smack you. She ain't do that. That was all on, well, from my knowledge, anyway, that was all based off Will's own action. Will decided to do that. But I would say 50-50. Because indirectly, she got him looking crazy, man. Like, let's be 100. Even with their private affairs, like, if they have an open marriage and that works for them, I understand that they don't have to explain what they do inside of their marriage and their private life. But then it's leaked out. So there's a certain level of disrespect there because it's different when we dealing with something inside the home. But when it's leaked out, there's a level, like, our business is exposed. You got me looking crazy to the world now. And then it kept on going further from that. You're on Red Table Talk talking about entanglement. You're literally telling somebody that, for all intents and purposes, you say that's your husband that you love. You're telling them you were involved with another man, and why you were involved with another man on a national platform for people to judge you, judge him.
And you were in love with this man, right?
Right. Then, here we go. Here's the one that I really think is the kicker too. Then, months after that, you say how much you love Tupac, and I don't think I love someone as much as I love Tupac. Mind you, you got a whole husband at home.
Right.
And, let me add the sprinkles to that. Will already dated that in the beginning of their relationship, he was very much so jealous of Tupac because of the bond that Tupac and Jada had as growing up and being in each other's lives and having a mutual type of relationship without the sexual aspect. So he already established Tupac had an advantage over him in his own relationship. And now you're telling me you had this unique love for Tupac, and he's not even alive. He's been dead for so many years. We've been together for so many years. We got kids, and you still talking about, like, you understand? Like, you gotta put yourself in that man's shoes. Like that, as much as you want to be the bigger person and as worldly as we might perceive him or whatever the case is, on a basic level of what it means to be a man in society, in this society, that gotta affect you. I don't care what nobody says. You could, as intelligent, worldly a person is, that still gotta affect you on some level, on a basic level, bro. It got to.
I agree. Let me ask you this last question, okay? What are the odds? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most likely, 1 or 0, 0 being the least likely, 10 being the most likely. What are the odds you think that this whole situation is fake?
That's a good one. I want to say a 7. 7 most likely. I want to say 7. I say. Oh, so okay. In terms of the situation, what you talking about? You talking about in terms of with Will and Jada, or Will and Chris?
Will and
or
Chris.
I should say this. Will and Chris. Okay, a 7. I would say a 7 because, again, these are two men that they have to cross each other's path. Not only that, I would feel like they're mature enough where they probably can talk about the situation afterwards. Like, look, Will did offer some form of an apology. Even though I felt like he should have apologized in the same manner he did publicly as he apologized to the Academy Awards for what he did. Even though I felt like he should have apologized to Chris Rock that night, he did offer a form of apology, so there is an apology there. I feel like they want to have a conversation about it. And I forgot who stated it, but I feel like next year they're probably going to have some type of like reenactment or skit about it. And then that's going to be the way to kind of like blow it over. So I feel like time that might pass by. In terms of Will and Jada, only time can tell that. I mean, I feel like their situation is what it is because they agreed to this life-term partnership, whereas as though that in terms of their relationship, as it fluctuates, there isn't a break in the matrimony that they have. So I'm not too sure with everything that occurred if that'll still last, because like I said, to some degree that gotta have a wavering effect on any person, man or female, in that situation. You feel like you've been disrespected, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you have to defend your love, defend the honor of who you're with. That gotta start to weigh on a person after a while. But in terms of with Will Smith and Chris, I definitely say 7.
Wow. Okay. Listen, I'm probably the only one in the world not the only one in the world. I'm pretty sure there are more people out there, but I have a hard time believing any part of this situation was real.
Oh, really? Damn. Okay.
I'm having a very, very tough time. And here's the reason why. So reason number 1, let's say I were to say, Tafari, let me slap you in front of all of these people, right? You and I know it's fake, right?
Right.
What would be one of the things that would help lead other people to believe that it's not fake? After you and I already know that it's fake, not only do we have to have an opportunity to lead up to the fake part. Then after we perform that fake action, we have to do things to lead people to believe that it's real. So the lead up to the slap was obviously the joke. The slap happened, and then after the slap, the one thing that leads me to believe that this could be fake or fabricated is because when Will Smith gets to his seat, he says, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." The second time he goes to yell it, he yells it a little bit louder. But the pitch in which he yells this for the second time leads me to believe, oh, you want me to think that this is real. This is a yell, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And then he gets louder, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." I'm sitting in my seat watching this on my screen, obviously because I wasn't at the Oscars, but I'm watching it on my screen like, wait a second. I don't want to say two really good actors, at least 1.5 good actors between Chris Rock and Will Smith had this situation. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know Will is a really good actor, and I know that Chris is a very good comedian, but he is also an actor. What would be the outcome or the benefit for both of these two men to have that situation happen? Well, first and foremost, the Oscars ain't as prestigious as it once was before. It was a very prestigious award show. Over the last few years, the Oscars have just been, quite frankly, boring, right? This has been the most entertaining Oscars in the Oscar history. I don't remember another Oscar award show. You ask me what happened in some of the BET awards, some of the MTV awards, I can tell you, I remember when Suge Knight went on stage and dissed the whole New York. I remember when Snoop Dogg was up there and he was like, "We Death Row, we the new West Coast." And I remember these things, right? I don't remember one Oscar moment. This will be the Oscar moment that I remember.
For sure.
This will be the Oscar moment that I remember. So I say that to say, I think in the pre-meetings or the pre-show meetings, I literally think the writers were like, what is one thing that we can do to get the Oscars onto social media and make, because listen, this is going to live forever. This meme is going to live forever. And they were thinking, how can we make the Oscars live forever on social media? Because I tell you what, if this slap didn't happen, I would have never even known the Oscars were on Sunday.
That's a fact.
I'm just going to be honest. If this slap doesn't happen, I never even know that the Oscars was on Sunday. I didn't know that the Oscars were on until I got sent this slap. So my thought is this is 100% fake, fabricated, and falsified. The reason why is because Will Smith is a great actor. Not only is Will Smith a great actor, he knows how to slap somebody for fake. He knows how to make it seem. There's a video that surfaced. I don't have it pulled up here, but there's a video. I'm sure you all can search it up. There's a video that surfaced that shows Will Smith smacking a small kid for play. Now, it definitely wasn't to the extent that this slap was, but even in this photo that I'm showing you, you can see Chris Rock bracing for the slap. I mean, I don't know who gets slapped and braces for it with a smile unless you know it's fake. I mean, no man can get this close to my face and have his hand up like that and I'ma still keep a smile on my face. First of all, there is a such thing called personal space, and if you get too close to my personal space, my reaction to that may not be to put my hands up and defend myself, but I will back up. I will flinch a little bit before.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'm like, come on now, Chris Rock, you supposed to be from Brooklyn, like, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to come out. BK supposed to come out at some point. Like, nah, homie, back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I agree with you there. I would say though, I understand what you said. Now there are some conspiracy theories behind that. Some people do feel like, okay, certain aspect of it was already premeditated, but it probably went disarray. So some people feel like, okay, Will might have already had the insight on, okay, they're going to joke on either you or Jada, but it was the actual joke that was said that was like, no, you were supposed to go with a different joke. So, because it's known that like Chris Rock and people like that have writers sometimes. So maybe someone came to Will Smith already like, yo, we planning on him saying this joke. What you think about it? He was like, nah, don't use this joke, use the other one. And then the joke that wasn't supposed to be said was said. So that's a theory. There also is theory that when Will Smith asked Chris Rock assumed he was playing and didn't realize it until he actually sat down and he started cursing. Because once he started cursing, it's like, okay, you obviously got to be mad because you're cursing knowing that we're on live national TV. This is the Oscars. So I think that kind of talks to both of the type of explanations you had on why you believe it's fake. But then even with that, I would have to disagree with that and play devil advocate. Because, all right, let's say, all right, if it's fake, only one person comes out of that looking, you know, in like a good light. You know what I mean? Chris Rock ends up losing more in that fake situation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what would be the benefit for Chris Rock in faking being smacked?
Well, to me, both of these men come out with stains on their reputation. To me, both of these men come out looking really, really good because we understand that Will Smith is a victim to some degree in this situation. But I mean, we just watched the man get assaulted on live television, so that man is also a victim. So, you got your pros and cons of the situation, and that is the reason why I think it was fake, because it's not like you can definitively say, okay, let's reach to something like the Capitol riots, right? You got all of these people bum rushing the Capitol. Well, after the dust settles, who is the one person that looks bad in this whole situation? It's Donald Trump. Fast forward a year later, and Biden is doing what he's doing in the office. Well, who's the one person that looks good in this situation? It's Donald Trump. So I say that to say it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't move. And if go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I would say that, and that's the reason why I believe it's not fake. Because if it was fake, if it was staged, right, you're going to stage it in a way where both parties look good in any angle, from any angle. You're gonna make it in a way where it's like, all right, we both winning on this. You understand what I'm saying? In this situation, there's too much disagreement or backlash on both parties, on both acts, especially Chris Rock. He low-key kind of really getting grilled by the black community. So, and then on top of that, from, again, this is going back to, I guess, where I perceive Will Smith to be. I would assume that on the night that he gets nominated, I would assume that he will be beyond trying to gain clout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he'll be so above that. Like, he's like, what? Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? For real. That's how I feel like he would react if somebody would even, like, bring that type of proposal to him. So, I don't know him, but that's what I would assume. But I just feel like nobody really comes out nobody really comes out gaining anything from that situation. So that's why I would say it's not fault. Not fake.
I would have to disagree with that because, okay, put it like this, right? This is Will Smith's first Oscar, right?
Right.
Let's say, to my point, let's just act like my point is to some degree true, right? Let's say in the pre-show, the writers or the directors of the show, of the award show, said, how can we make this Oscars go viral? And then somebody is in the pre-show meeting saying, we need to get somebody to walk on stage and slap Chris Rock. Let's get Will Smith to slap Chris Rock. Think about it. He's already been going through issues with the entanglement. He will be the perfect person to have slap Chris Rock. So they call Will Smith on the phone and they say, we need you to come in. We need to ask you some questions, right? They lay the idea out for Will Smith. Well, a contingency that Will Smith can lay on the line for them to say the only way I do this is for X to happen. I think Will Smith would have walked into that pre-show meeting and said, the only way I slap him on live TV is if y'all give me the Oscar.
Nah. I can't agree with that at all.
This is his first Oscar. This is his first Oscar. He's like, look, I will do it, but y'all got to give me the Oscar. I got to win Best Actor.
Okay, so put it like this. Mind you, I want to say we're kind of past the prime of Will Smith's acting career. I mean, he could have some more lessons, but I feel
he has absolutely nothing to lose by slapping Chris Rock. He has zero to lose.
I mean, there is still a backlash though, because like I said, both parties are getting backlash to some degree. But so his first Oscar is then tainted with the fact that it's overshadowed by his antics. That don't even make any sense to me. And then on top of that, if that's the case, he would have been done ran up on stage and smacked somebody for an Oscar. If that was the case, if he was leveraging the fact like, I will do this antic if I actually win the award. Like, he would have been did that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He would have been. I'm sure this is not the first. I'm not too.
But this is one of the first times where the Oscars allowed a lot of black people to have a presence, and that's my one thing. So it's not like he would have been done it, because he would have never had the opportunity to do this, because it's not like they would have had.
Has he been nominated for an Oscar before though?
He's been nominated for an Oscar before, but if you are gonna whitewash an award show, I'm gonna nominate a couple people. Doesn't mean they're gonna win. And if I want to have more representation or I want to bring more light to a particular award show, and I want that light to come from a subset of people, i.e. black people, I'm gonna let a black person go up there and show his ass. So that way next year, guess what? Guess who's gonna be watching the Oscars next year? Every goddamn body. Guess who's gonna be watching next year?
You said something that actually, for me, proved that it wasn't fake. Okay, here's the thing. All right, let's say it was staged, right? The chances of somebody exposing that is too good. Mind you, remember, it's the Oscars. They already had their issues with black people in terms of not nominating enough black people or whatever. The chances of somebody exposing them for putting two black men in a situation where they're looked at in a negative light, the controversy from that would single-handedly cripple the Oscars in terms of just like on a, I guess if you want to say liberal.
What I will say,
I don't think he would take that chance.
What I will say to combat that point is that there have been more egregious things that have been set up that have never come out. So I mean, we could very well say the United States brought in cocaine to the U.S. and I mean, there's proof that they did, but the U.S. is never going to say that they did that. You get what I'm saying? There has been more egregious things that have been set up and falsified that have never come out. So if this was fake and it came out, I will be very surprised that it came out. But if this was fake, I would put my money on it that it would never come out, that it was fake. It would never be confirmed that it was fake. I will, albeit it could very well be fake. You get what I'm saying? So there, like I said, once again, there have been more egregious situations in history that have been falsified, and the falsification of those situations have never ever come out before.
Listen, I would say, depending on the platform, I would probably buy into it a little bit more. But it's still the Oscars. They still want to keep a certain level
That's
of
true.
prestige to them, and then I just feel like the risk to reward ratio is just it's it's too unbalanced for them to even take the
That's true.
chances to play with that. You know what I'm
That's
saying? So
true.
I'm
I
at
mean,
I feel like the situation kind of it makes more sense for it to stem from an actual place of truth than it to be like, okay, we're gonna point out Jada,
mhm.
then people won't think like, oh, it's due to alopecia, that's why we'll get up and smack. Like, it's too much like assuming with a stage situation. Whereas, and if they was going to stage anything else, they could have just like I said, they would have staged something where it's like there's not a loser in either situation. From any angle, it was a win-win.
I
They
guess
staged
with the whole loser situation is like somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. That's just the fact of the matter. And then if it was staged, both parties have to agree. And if they do agree, I think both of these men are at the tail end of their careers to some degree. I don't think either of these men have very much to lose if this situation were to spin off or go awry. I'm I'm just like, look, this smells fishy to me, and where I smell fish, there has to be an ocean. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you guys, but I know. I mean, nah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with it.
Here,
It actually.
here's another thing. Here's another thing, and I want everybody to think about this, right? It's the Oscars, right?
Uh,
Not very many normal people will be in attendance to this, right?
mm-hmm.
So a lot of the people who are in there are stars, right? Especially if
Correct.
you are sitting very close to the stage, you're a star,
Correct.
right? At
Correct.
the Oscars, at least, it's not like this the Nickelodeon Awards where they have
Right.
like, you know, people just down there near so that you can see all the craziness going on, but they have stars here, right? Check this.
Correct.
How many angles, how many camera angles did you see of the slap?
Just one. Mm-hmm.
Just one. So if I wanted to stage this slap, I would verify that there could only be one angle of this slap, that there can't be a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth angle of the slap. Why? Because that may put it like this. I'll put it to you like this. And you may be big on basketball, I'm not sure.
No.
Do you remember the play where Kobe Bryant was playing a team and he walks up to the out of bounds? It was Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes has the ball and he fixed the pat and he fixed the ball at Kobe's head. Do you remember that
Right.
play? You
Right. Right.
remember
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Check this out. If you look at that play from the right angle, it looks like the ball was a centimeter away from Kobe's face. But if you look at that same very play from a different angle, you could see the ball was nowhere near Kobe's face at all. So I say that to say, if you've only seen one angle of this slap, and we can guarantee that at least one star on the floor or close to the stage has an iPhone, has TikTok, has Instagram,
Mm.
and we haven't seen that angle, I have to question this. And I do a lot of camera work. I do a lot of camera work. So
That's a
I
fact.
know if you have one camera angle on something and it looks like somebody got slapped, well, let me tell you this, it's very easy to add a sound effect on live TV.
Oh wow.
It's very, very easy to have somebody who's right near the stage pull their phone out and start recording. It's very easy to do. We don't know, since we're regular people, if the Oscars takes phones before you can
Mm.
even come into the event. We don't know that, because if they take phones, put it like this, if they don't take phones and they set something like this up, this would be the year that they would need to take phones from people. You get what I'm saying? so they can verify that there's only one camera angle of this slap. Because when I first saw the slap, it didn't look like Will Smith even made contact. Other people were saying that
I thought that at certain points too.
other people were saying that he made contact. Like I said, I do a lot of video work and I do acting work. Not that that has anything to do with anything, but I'm trying to, when I'm filming my stuff, I'm trying to pinpoint things that don't look realistic. I'm looking for that, especially when I do fight scenes. When I do fight scenes, I try to pinpoint punches that look fake, because if it looks fake to me, it's gonna look fake to someone else. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if, like I said, there's only one camera angle, if you can find multiple camera angles of this, I would be very so. I need a side camera angle of this slap for me to believe it. I need to see the hand connecting with the face. What did Dave Chappelle say? What did the five fingers say to the face? I need Will Smith's hand in 4K meeting Chris Rock's face for me to be like, this is real.
I will say this: is there is like a still clip of like, I guess, the slap right after it lands, and you can see the imprint or the impact of where Chris Rock got smacked at. I was like, damn, no, he definitely smacked him, like, because you can actually see it in his face, like the pressure. It looked like the wind touching his face. So I'm like, nah, it definitely, it seemed real. But no, I get what you're saying though. You do have points there. I mean, as much cameras as they have in there, there should be different angles. I guess my only devil advocate point is, how many cameras would they have from where Will came towards Chris Rock? If you understand what I'm saying. Well, I would assume it's only that one camera that's able to pick up that one area.
Well, I find it very hard to believe that there was only one camera angle on the stage at that point in time. I find it very, very hard to believe. However, that is the only camera angle that we see. If somebody gives, like I said, if somebody can give me another camera angle, and I think that's how we find out that it is fake. Months down the line, there's going to be a leak of another camera angle. Mark my words. Months down the line, there's going to be a leak of another camera angle showing that this could very well have been staged. Here's one other thing that I want to point out to you. When Chris Rock not only did Chris Rock brace for the slap, after he got slapped, I mean, how many people do you know get slapped and they literally have to bend all the way over to the side like that? Normally, if you get slapped, you'll probably go like this real quick and snap back. Chris Rock did one of these.
I think that plays into what I was saying. There's a theory that when he saw Will coming, he felt like he was going to slap him, and it was going to be like a play slap, like, man, get out of here. And then when he slapped him, it kind of took me by surprise a little bit. And then once Will Smith got back to his seat and started cussing, he realized, oh wait, you really try to slap me, like you really just slapped me, like, which I could believe that as well too, because to the point we both made, like, he let Will Smith walk up on him, and it didn't seem like he was threatened, even though he said, oh wait, hold up, it was in a playing manner. So now thinking about it from that perspective, he might have thought Will Smith was playing. Like, he might have, because he saw Will Smith laugh at the joke as well. So when Will Smith came up there, he might have thought Will was playing along with him. So I think that plays into what you're saying. Because everybody was saying usually you get smacked, you fall, or it's depending on how hard you get smacked, like you turn your head. He did kind of, and then even if you watch the video back, it looked like he went to like square up for a minute, and then he was like, wait, hold up. Like, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me, like. So, like, if you watch it back, I think you'll probably see that. I mean, look, it's all about perception. So, I mean, we can sit here for the next hour and try to just dissect it, whatever it is. It's real, it's not, I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel okay. I'll put it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we'll be able to find out if it's fake and it's gonna come from Chris Rock. Because real talk, he was the one that was abused in the situation, was assaulted in the situation. So I feel like, I, in terms of how I perceive the person that lost in this situation, I feel like he has every reason to expose whether it was real or not, because he actually came out being the one that got assaulted publicly.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. But I'll tell you what, there will be 2 digital events. And when I say digital, that means we're going to watch it either on our screens or on the TV. You can call it a show, whatever you want to call it. But there will be 2 digital events that everyone in the world damn near is going to be watching. First and foremost, this time next year, everyone's going to be watching the Oscars next year. We can all agree to that. Or we may not watch it, but we're going to know what Sunday it is next year. That's for damn sure. There will be more coverage on when the Oscars is next year for 100%. That's just not, it's because, like you said, to your point, they could try to reenact this situation to some degree. So people are going to know when the next Oscars award is. The second thing, and this is the most important thing, and this is where I think Chris Rock has no problem being the victim in this situation. The second digital event that we're going to watch and be looking for is the next Chris Rock stand-up special.
I do agree. So, actually, his stand-out, his comedy show that he got sold out, and the prices of the retail tickets is through the roof.
So think about it.
Already stated. Yeah.
So think about it. You could say, okay, well, yeah, Chris Rock comes out. Listen, in hip hop, and you know this, you're a DJ. In hip hop, when rappers are beefing, the ticket prices are through the roof. When rappers are beefing, when there's a beef, the ticket prices are through the roof. The album sales are through the roof. Everything is through the roof. The price of the shows go up. Everything goes up when there's beef. So I can't really say that Chris Rock looks bad in this because people are going to be flocking to see him now. Listen, I will pay more money today. I will pay more money to see the next Chris Rock stand-up special than I would to see a Dave Chappelle special right now. Today.
That's arguable to say. That's actually, yeah, you can say that.
Today, just today. Now, there may be people out there just like myself who like Dave Chappelle better than Chris Rock. But today, if I had money and I had to decide between these 2 shows, I'm gonna spend money on the Chris Rock show.
Because you betting on it. He gonna talk about it.
He's gonna talk about it. Yeah. And then guess what? He might get on stage and not even mention this, but it does not mean that people are not going to be buying those tickets to see the possibility of him talking about this. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, man, we could try to dissect this for hours, man.
Okay, on a wide scale view, what do you think were the major takeaways from the situation? Just looking at it from a wide lens.
The major takeaways, and keep in mind, I think this whole situation is fake. Okay. So the major takeaways for me is that you can easily manipulate the masses. That would be the major takeaway for me. And people know that you can easily manipulate the masses, but the storylines, like, let's say if this were true, the storylines that this has created will alleviate the opportunity for people to look for falsehoods in this whole scenario. Like that, there's so many storylines that you can run with if this were true that you wouldn't even think twice that it would not be true. Like, it's just too many storylines out there. So the biggest takeaway, wide lens, ultra wide lens on would be that you can easily manipulate the masses to believe whatever it is that you want, even if it happens in real time. You can manipulate people to think that something actually did happen when it was all false, you know? How about you?
I feel as though, in terms of a society and how we view, I guess gender roles. I feel as though, how I want to say it. I feel in terms, the major takeaway is, in our community anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In our community, anything is acceptable when it pertains to protecting, or when the narrative is protecting a black woman.
Wait, say that again. Say that again for me. Say that. I
So,
need you.
okay, so yeah, let me piece it together. Okay. So when the narrative is pertaining to protecting a black woman, anything is acceptable, and I'm seeing that because somebody said something too. That was like, okay, for those that felt like Will Smith was right. If I change a few things around, is it still right? Let's say Chris Rock was a woman. Would you still say what Will Smith did was right or wrong? Now, flip it. Let's say Will Smith was white. Chris Rock was still black. Would you still find it acceptable what he did? If your answer changed, then that's how you know he was wrong. And I agree with that. And I feel like a lot of people in our community, there needs to be some type of like, okay, let's cut the bullshit. Like, I feel like a lot of people, if Will Smith was a white person in that situation and smacked a black man over a joke, a black comedian, they would be held to pay. It would be down with the Oscars, and I know that for a fact. I don't feel that. I know they would be down with the Oscars for a fact. Y'all let this white man smack this black man while he's doing his job. You know what I'm saying? But when you paint the narrative, oh, he was protecting a black woman, you know what I'm saying? Is a different outcome now.
No,
So
I agree.
I mean, yeah, that'd be the major. And then it's like, you know, as a lot of people have already stated, man, the male ego is fragile. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, a dude will kill you over the fact of how he perceives the society, and it's sad to say that, but you know what I mean. That I would say those are the two major takeaways I have from that situation. Is just like that's what it is. I mean,
Well, that's another reason why I think it's fake, my boy. Because guess what, man? Like you said, and I didn't even think of this until you started saying it. Imagine if you had different combinations of people up there, whether Will Smith was a woman or Will Smith was white, or Chris Rock was a woman or Chris Rock was white. A black man on black man is the only way that you don't introduce other issues into what happened. A black man
okay,
on
I like
black
that
man.
spin. I
So,
like that spin. Okay.
so
Okay.
if this was fake and writers were writing this and they were saying okay, somebody needs to go on stage and slap Chris Rock. How would they spin it to make it so that the Oscars doesn't look bad?
Yeah, it's like
Exactly.
Okay.
How do they do that? Well, we're gonna send a nigga up there to go slap a nigga. We're not gonna send a nigga up there to go slap the host.
Niggas can't fight each other. Yeah, I see. Okay, I see what you said. Yeah.
Chris Rock wasn't the host. He was just there to introduce an award. So it's not even like he was hosting and he was up there all night. No, he was there for a very small amount of time.
Wait, he wasn't a host?
He wasn't even. That is my point. That is my point. It's so many storylines within this situation that people will start neglecting the actual facts of what happened. Here are the facts. There's only one camera angle of the slap. Chris Rock was not even the host. He was up there for a very small amount of time. Every time these award shows are done, everything is scripted. Literally from when the commercial breaks will be, to what commercials would be shown, to what jokes would be said on stage, to who will be walking on stage. You can't tell me there was not security there. You can't tell me. anytime there is a live performance of some degree in this industry, there are people who, and they may be in plain sight in plain clothing, but they're security. That's just a fact of the matter. They may not have the yellow shirts on where it says staff on the back like they do at the football games. They may not have that, but they will be in a suit looking like they're in plain sight, and they will be the security guards. You cannot tell me that somebody didn't see Will Smith walking up there. It's called reading the room. If this comedian is on stage and just said a joke about somebody who has the balls to walk up on stage, okay, I need two security guards right here at this entrance of the stage, because I have no idea what Will Smith is going to be thinking at this time. And especially if you're going to be writing these jokes, you need to know, okay, we're writing a joke about Beyonce. Beyonce is sitting right next to the stage. Let's have a camera right there in front of her face so we can get her face. Let's also have a security, because guess what? We saw the camera angle of Will Smith laughing. Why we didn't see the other camera angles of the slap? So we could confirm that hey man, I'm just trying to look at it objectively and not just go with the flow. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, hold up. If to your point, if either one of these people were women or if either one of these people were white, we would be looking at the Oscars to some degree like this is your fault. If one of the, let's say Chris Rock was a white woman and Will Smith was still black and he goes up and slaps her, they would be like, oh, these niggas and these niggas and these niggas.
You're allowed, Not only that, you going back to your point, is like where with security, you allowed a man to walk on stage and just slap this woman. So that's
The only way the Oscars will wash their hands of this and not be at blame or at fault is for it to be two black men. Now people are like, well, damn, how far can this situation go? Let's sit back and see. Don't nobody interrupt, because we have no idea if this is, let's say Chris and God damn it. Let's say Will Smith goes up and slaps Chris Rock in the face. If nobody knew what was going to happen, why didn't security run on stage? Wouldn't that be the perfect time after the slap? Literally 5 seconds after the slap, wouldn't it be a perfect time to have a couple people run on stage like, oh, wait, what's going on? Wait, what's going on? Think of Jerry Springer. If a fight starts to break out, you see Steve Wilkos come up. Hold up. I'm getting them in between all of y'all. I don't know how far it's going to go, but I'm on camera now. Y'all ain't going to do this while I'm standing here. This man slapped this man, stood in the same spot. Nobody batted an eye. Hold up. Come on now. If we was at a party and you saw somebody slap somebody, you either going to see a bunch of people back up and give them space, or you're going to see somebody come over like, what is going on? Oh my, wait, what happened? There was none of that. There was no chaos at all after that. There was peace after the slap. That's what leads me to believe it was fake.
Okay, that's what you said. Got some good points, Chad. I didn't even know that.
We'll see, man. Listen, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in for sure. I definitely didn't plan to have you in the car this long for sure, but it was just kind of rolling. It was rolling.
I got the AC on. We cool. We good.
Listen, man, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is real. Put a 2 in the chat if you think this is fake. Tafari, any last words? Oh yeah, he's definitely putting a 1 in the chat. Any last words, man? Anything that you want to lead the people with?
Thank you for having me, man. I just want people to be more more consistent with your ideology. I feel like in our community, that's kind of what I was talking to a little bit too.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so emotionally based, and then where people morals tend to waver depending on how they feel on a person or a situation, which that to me is ridiculous. So just be more consistent with your thoughts and your ideologies, please.
Yeah, well, we definitely gonna have a show based off that for sure, because I do want to do some spinoffs on men not having the outlets that women have. Like you said, to your point, if we are going, and I'm not even going to talk about it again, but if we are going to defend women, the best way for us to do that is to have a black man slap another black man about a black woman. Um, but we definitely have to address the fact that a lot of black women are not condemning this. Why? Because they feel that they were being protected. But this does not look good for our community. And think about it. A lot of the things that black and like I said, we're gonna be talking about this later, but a lot of things that black women stand for are to a detriment to the black community. That's just a fact.
Okay, now diving right back into it, but not only that, a lot of the black women that are praising Will Smith for this toxic behavior are the same people who were clowning him just a month or two ago for allowing an entanglement to happen, or blaming him. Well, he was cheating on her too. He started the entanglement. We just ain't know. But now, oh yeah, that's what a real man do. I mean, I don't care, slap whoever about your woman. It's just like, that's what I'm saying. Be more consistent, man. Just like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, we gonna have we definitely gonna have a show to speak more to that. We're gonna talk about that right there at length for sure. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on. I mean, look at this. Look at this. He braced for it. He braced for the slap. He braced.
Yo, it's not like he was in the middle of a skit.
I mean, it even looks
like a big piece of chicken.
It even looks like he's leaning forward a little bit.
He's definitely leaning into that, John. He definitely is. Say, let me just get a little bit more.
This is not good, man. But yo, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in for show. Other than that, man, Talk That Lingo crew, talk that lingo very fast. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Be sure to subscribe. We got some very, very important content of important conversations that need to be had, and we're going to have them on this very show. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Leave in the comments a number 1 if you think this is real, and number 2 if you think this is fake. I'm just going to flood the comments with 2s all the way down. But Tafari,
throw them 1s up.
I appreciate, throw the 2s up. That's right. I appreciate you tapping in for show. You have a blessed day, my cousin.
You too, guys.